Good afternoon. Welcome. Ooh, I'm going to make sure that my things are connected here. I didn't look at that. Um, Welcome to Monday afternoon. Kind of crazy here. Okay, let's start over again. It's Monday, June 9th. Oh my goodness. We are well into June already, aren't we? And I am really stamping on the fly today. So welcome to Pat's Stamping Place. Let's put this up here. Pat Mayer, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And it's been one of those crazy days. Again, it's a Monday. So if you're listening and wondering what this crazy lady is up to, we'll just have to wait and see, because she's changed her mind so much today, I don't think even she knows what's going on. So anyway, if you saw the preview about using your Simply Scored tool, now this has been around for a long time, and I actually realized that it is not in the catalog. So I am hoping that it did transition to the new, or excuse me, to the online store, because this is one of those products that you buy when you need to do a lot of scoring for boxes and all those things that you really, it's not as easy to do on your trimmer. It's easier to do on here. But it's a one-time purchase, so it's not that it's going to, if it doesn't sell a lot, it's probably because people already have it. So if that makes any sense. So I'm going to do something different with this. It's called Simply Scored, and it comes with a stylus. And I used to have a bunch of these little things that you could mark where you want to score. And they used to come stored in here. And I still do have some. Yes, these little things that you can put in and mark. Hello, Rose. Hello, Shirley. That you can put in and mark where you want to put your score lines. And I've got some things here for center points and so on and so forth. So I don't really use them very often. This one just kind of stays in there permanently. Those are stored back there, and it's also a place to store your stylus tool if you're traveling or taking it someplace, because it's easily, it could easily fall out. So anyway, let's tuck those back in there. I wasn't even sure they were there. That just kind of locks down there. So let me know if you have one of these, because I do use it a lot, but I wasn't quite sure if this little tool would do what I wanted to do today. And then I came up with another idea just moments before I hit the live button. So you'll have to apologize for my craziness here. Let's see, I'm getting some messages. I'm glad I'm not getting noise. Let's see, I can take that away. There we go. And as I was talking about this, okay, Shirley, you have one. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think it's kind of a staple that you should have. And of course, we know about the scoring blade, the light gray one on our trimmer. And you can use that too. But this one's a little bit harder, because you got to go all the way across if you're going to do what I'm going to show you today. So let's get started, and then I'll show you another little trick too. And I may have shown this card a couple or 3 weeks ago when I was showing samples from this Extraordinary Flora stamp set and die and the amazing washi tape that goes with it. The washi tape is currently on back order. I did look, and it is due in the 16th of June, so it will be back. So if you're lucky to have some already, it will last you a long time, but I think I probably will need another one at some point. What did I say? I think there are 10 yards on here. Okay, so I will be using some of these that I've already die cut out, but let's do what I want to show you today. I think this might have been one of the cards that I showed you before. I don't know if you can see all of those scored lines. So you can score to add texture and dimension and just a little, ooh, it's really raining out there, dimension to your card. I'll show you the other samples when we're done. So before I need the score tool, I need a pencil. A little bit ago, it may interrupt too, we had a warning for a severe thunderstorm watch. Okay, I have a pencil. You can use a pen too because it's not going to be seen. And I'm going to, I think on this one, because my other ones are going this way, I think I'm going to do a card that is portrait. It won't take, excuse me, quite as long to put the scores in there, so you'll get the idea. So I want to go about 2/3 of the way up, so I've got some room up here for a sentiment. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, it's really raining. I can look out that glass block window and I can hear it. And I'm just going to draw a line, but not a straight line. I'm going to just freehand something like this. So it might look like a hill or whatever. Okay, so it's a little up, a little down. And now I'm going to bring in the Simply Scored, and I'm going to score this down here. Now you have a bigger ball end on the stylus that comes with it, and you've got a small one. The small one can be used for cardstock. You definitely want to use the larger ball end for scoring designer series paper because it's so delicate and much thinner. I'm going to use this big ball end though, just because I'm going to give some pressure here. I'm also going to add some wax paper across this to maybe make it a little bit easier, and maybe put some wax on here too, to score this. So I'm putting this up here in the corner, and I'm going to turn it upside down here. And I want to score just to this line. So since I'm doing this on the fly, I don't have one of these already ready, but I'm going to score every 1/8 inch across here, stopping at this line. And I hope you can still see it. It is kind of light. I should have gone a little bit darker, but I don't think I had a really good pencil. So I'm just stopping at that point. I'll kind of chit-chat as I get across here. And this won't take as long because I'm doing a portrait design. So I hope you had a good week. I don't know where last week went. I was involved in a garage sale It's an annual one that I do with a couple other friends. Always the first Friday and Saturday in June. And it's more fun than making a lot of money. And the weather was absolutely gorgeous. So I can't say enough about that. And I got rid of a few things that needed to get out of my house. And what didn't go is still in the trunk of my car to drop off tomorrow at a place called Happy Tales that supports the Humane Society here in, I think it's for all of Summit County actually, not just Akron, but it is located here. Okay, I'm getting close to the edge. I probably could turn it around and move it. And because I'm adding pressure to this, it is trying to curl up a little bit. And this piece of paper is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so this is what we have. It doesn't make any difference if that line is back there. I now have a design on my card, and I know it's white there. I think you can see it. So it went this way and that way. All right. And you want to make sure you put that stylus back because it's at the bottom and you don't want to lose that. All right. So now I just need to decorate it. And it just adds some interest to your card. And I have this on a piece of our newly returned strawberry slush in color. It was a color that we had a number of years ago. So now I'm going to take some of the cutouts from the Extraordinary Flora, and these happen to be the pink ones. And I have a whole box of these somewhere, wherever they went. But anyway, these are the ones that I pulled out to use. So I want a sentiment to go up here. And rather than stamp, I'm going to you are absolutely the best, or you are the absolute best. And let's use some little dimensionals. And since this is the way my brain has been going today, kind of doing things on the fly, I did not look, because I think this is an online exclusive. Go see where these are from. But it's a die and a stamp set, and you can stamp them out and cut them all. Oh goodness, there is a power outage popping up. That might be where I tend to go when I am finished with my live on Mondays. We'll see if that's the case. Okay, so I'm going to put this up here. You're the absolute best. And then I have these. And the reason I did this in a curve is because I want my little designs to pick up that curve as well. Now, because I went portrait design instead of this one that I did, where it was landscape, I don't need as many as these as I thought I did. Okay, so let's put this big one in the middle, kind of up here at the top. And I'm going to put dimensionals on these as well, because that really looks nice. Okay, and some of these can take the big ones. And before I forget, I will not be doing a live next Monday. I will be out of town. Okay, so that one's gonna kind of go up like that. This one needs a little mini. I'm not pressing down too hard on these until I decide exactly where they're going to go. So I can still pick it up. That one I know I want to stay there. And I have more than one of these. So let's put this one over here. Kind of balance it out a little bit. And then there are these little ones. Let's see, lift that up a little bit and come down here. Put that up there. These things are kind of hard to pick up, so let's grab my take a pick tool. Okay. Maybe I don't want those to be the same. I think I like that one a little bit better there. Okay, so let's grab that. This one's a little bit lower, a little bit smaller. Okay, that one is not going to cooperate. So let's put that there. And hi, Sue. Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. I love that we've got these little minis. So you can kind of mix and match them on your different parts of your project. Maybe that wasn't the best choice. So I'll probably have to cut off a little bit of it. Okay, but it's going to work. And of course I put dimensionals on the part that has to get cut off. And a little bit over here too. So there's the back where we drew the line and made the score lines. So that goes up there like that. Okay, that will work. It's a little different. As I said, I'm kind of on the fly today. Let's see if I can find the new strawberry slush. It kind of got buried in there. There we go. These are the new strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems. These are online. And so we'll put a couple of these up here. And as a reminder, I talked about this last week because it started on June 3rd, that all of the product suites, whether they're online or in the annual catalog, are on sale. Buy one, get one, 50% off. The washi tape, June 16th. Sue, I looked that up just a little bit ago. Now it is a little on the confusing side that, let's say you buy one thing from the Floral Impressions suite, because you can buy certain things. You can buy just the bundle from that. You don't have to buy the entire suite. But let's say you bought something from Floral Impressions, which is an online exclusive product, and then you want something from the Florals in Bloom. Let's say you want just the designer series paper, or you just want the gems. That part is going to be your cheaper part. That one will be the 50% off. So it's a little confusing, but if you want two full suites, one of them will be 50% off, the lesser price of the two. But the Florals in Bloom, Turtley Cute, Beautiful Gallery, Kintsugi Inspirations, Boho Vibes, I believe those are the only ones that are in the annual catalog. The others are online. Yes. So if you go online, you will be able to see all of that. And there should be a good explanation to that as well. But it is kind of tricky to know which part you're going to get for the 50% off. Okay, so there's our card. Nobody sees that line. That was drawn on the back. So that's going to go there. And let's see, we need a piece of paper for the inside. And I don't think I've got one cut to size, so let's grab the trimmer. And this is 5, we'll make that 5 by 3 3/4. Okay, to go inside. And let's take one of these that I didn't use and put on the inside. Use some adhesive glue for that. Okay, now I came up with another idea, truly 10 minutes before I hit that live button. And it's only because we now have a new embossing folder. It's been around a month or so. The mini corrugated embossing folder. So I didn't get to check to see if this one is on back order. I know it was very popular, and it's pretty amazing too. You can basically do the same thing with this that I just did with this. You could probably do the same thing with any embossing folder to give it more dimension. So what I did was, where are my pieces parts? Well, let's see. Let's just do this. Okay, so I'm going to put that, show you samples in a little bit a while back. And let's do the same thing and draw a line on, make sure my paper is right. So this is a full 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to, let's see, actually, I'm going to cut this down a little bit, because when you run something through with an embossing folder, it's going to shrink or expand, one or the other. So let's make this 4 by 5 1/4. And because I just did that one on the portrait side, I'm going to draw a line here this way. Okay, that's good. I'm not real good at doing things freehand. But I think that'll still do the job. And then I'm going to put that in this embossing folder. Now, if I do it this way, those lines are going to go this direction. So kind of be careful how you want that to go. And I do want it to be vertical. So I'm going to put that in the embossing folder this way. This is a 3D. So I'm going to just kind of step behind here. And I need plate 1, my embossing folder with that paper in it, and the gray plate 4, and run that through. It's looking kind of dark out there. And then instead of doing what I did before, I'm just going to cut this apart. So you could do this white on white, or add this to a color, in which case you would now have 2 cards. You would have enough for 2. So that one might even be easier. So So I had another piece of this already cut. Now, if you wanted to keep it together, you could do this. But the whole idea was that part of your card is plain and the part here is the corrugated. So let's compare the corrugation look to the embossing folder. This is much closer together. Without doing any measurements, I think you can see the difference. So let's try this. And grab some of these here. Sue, is it raining really hard at your house? I know you're close by. Now I would just go in here. I've got all of these here. Some of them have been run through with the washi tape. Some of them are just other colors. So it's kind of a catch 22 here. Well, my lawn got mowed today, so I guess that's a good sign, but means it's going to grow again. And I had some young kids do some weeding on Saturday, and they are just amazing. It's so nice to see young people doing things like that. And actually starting a little business. They did some work for me last year when the parents had to bring them over and do a little meet and greet. And this year, I think one of them is driving, and I just can't say enough about them. They're very professional. Let's see, that one. Okay, I'm just kind of playing here to see how this is going to work. I'm not even sure. Here's one. Wait a minute. Fingernails aren't working. Let's get this back. Okay, I ran through the washi tape on some bubble bath. I really like it just on the white. I haven't played around too much running it through on other colors of cardstock. It might, I think what it would look pretty on is the new cloud cover. Here's, let's see, that's the same. So let's move that over. Put that one there, that's the same. Then I want to show you something else that I did with the washi tape too. Kind of a last minute thing. That's me, last minute Lucy here. Oh goodness. And that one could go there. I'm not actually going to put this one together. I will check with them, Sue, and see if they are taking new clients. I actually found them on Neighborhood Network. So I will text the young man who's in charge, and when he contacted me again on what day they were coming, he said, I have crews now. So he's starting a little business. I think, I'll bet the teachers who have him are just thrilled. because they're so sweet. Okay, so anyway, that's how that one would go. Or I'll just send you the name and number, and you can text and find out if they're taking new clients. Because I had thistles that were 3 feet high. Let me tell you. Okay, this is something else I did with the washi tape. Look at this. I cut out this mini alphabet. And I've got a couple birthdays coming up. So I have a happy birthday. So I'm kind of going off the rails here and away from what I started with. So I've got all of these that have these pretty little designs on them. You could make names, but they've got the washi tape on them. And it's so pretty because it's just random. Just very random. I love it. So I can spell out names. And I didn't on this, but I would definitely suggest that you use the adhesive sheets when you do the alphabet. I did not. So I'm going to have to do some gluing. The other thing that I would suggest with this, okay, is when you lay out your words, and then I'll kind of finish up here because I'm off the track here. So we've got R, let's say you wanted to put Mrs. MRS. That's just what happened. That's just what came up. Lay these out on some grid paper. And then take your Post-it tape to pick them up this, whoops, that didn't stick. Because I lifted it too fast. So let's just take the M and the S. You'll get the idea. And stick those down with that. And then they'll be in, sorry. They will be ready to stick your adhesive on there. And then you can lay them down wherever you want them to go. So maybe I'll do something with that next week or show you the birthday cards that I plan to make with those letters of the alphabet. So I've got a mess here. Let me show you the other samples that I did. And making my mess. You have no idea what the mess looks like around here. So, but I guess that's the way the creative mind works, right? Okay, here was one that I did. And this was kind of a last minute thing. That one got a little bit wonky. These are some retired gems that I don't know why I have so many of them. And then I just made that there on that line. So use up those sequins and gems that you have. Just a quick little easy happy birthday. This was one that I did a couple of weeks ago that I may have shown when I did the washi tape video the first time, and these are just glued down on there. But at that point I was just showing the washi tape, not this particular technique or design. And I forget where I got the happy birthday, but this design is in the stamp set with the Extraordinary Flora. That's where that came from. And then this one is probably my favorite that I did a few weeks ago. Kind of goes that way. And these are popped up on dimensionals. So there we go. Kind of a mishmash today. And there we have, these have obviously the washi tape. This is just an idea to use that kind of design. So at some point I'll clean up my mess here and figure out what to do with all of these things. So have a great rest of the week. And as I said, I will not be here next Monday. I'll be out of town. And we'll probably be doing some creating. So maybe I'll come back with some cool ideas to show you and share. And again, don't forget about the sale with buy one, get one on the sweets. But that's good through the end of the month. So I will be back whatever that next Monday is after next week. So thanks for being here and putting up with my craziness today. And Sue, I will get that number to you shortly. And you can text those young kids. So take care. Have a good one.